Hi guys, this is Kacy Patey of the Inspired Office. Welcome to Fridays with Kacy, even though it's Saturday. Sorry I'm getting this in late, but I was a victim of the big snowstorm here in DC and was without power for about 48 hours, and that threw a monkey wrench in everything. But here I am, and this week we're talking about how do we get out of a funk whenever we find ourselves in a funk. Um, that's a good question because I don't have any one answer. I have many different answers, and I either do one of two things. It sounds funny, but I either admit it and address it and do something about it directly, or I just completely turn my attention away from it. That is actually what I do most of the time. If I find myself in a funk, I find it best to just completely take my attention off of it. That's easier said than done, of course, but if it's a funk about my business, then it's just time to like literally shut the business down for a day and see my friends, see my family, play with my nieces. Playing with my nieces always gets me out of any kind of funk, or playing with them regularly keeps me from getting in one. A change of scenery is always good too. I love the outdoors, so if I can just call up a friend and go on a hike and talk it out in the outdoors, that always gets me out of a funk. um, I heard a quote once. I don't know if this is exactly it, but everything in life is temporary. The good is temporary, the bad is temporary. Any situation we have is something that hopefully we're always moving through and not standing still. So that helps to remind myself sometimes that this too shall pass. This is just temporary. That truly does help. So that's turning my attention away from a problem, but sometimes I choose to address it head on, like I said. And to give you a very specific example, I was in a big funk with my business um, back in April of last year, April 2010. And at that point I had been in business for myself for about 9 years or so, and I was just frustrated with um, what I felt was how you know short I had come. I felt like I should have come much farther, just sort of reflecting on coming up on 10 years. So I was in a big funk about that, and I had actually just come home from a vacation and didn't want to come home to picking my business up off the ground. And I was kind of in a month-long, pretty bad funk. And what I did was I took action, and I said, you know what, I'm not going to take this anymore. And I joined a mastermind group. Um, a mastermind group that you had to pay to join, under my mentor, Fabian Frederickson. She calls herself the client attraction expert. And I actually was able to share my story about pulling myself out of that funk on stage to a group of the mastermind members, and it was, telecast, simulcast, or whatever, to many hundreds of people watching. So, how that story goes is, I came back from vacation. To be honest, didn't really have any clients on the calendar. And I was thinking, you know what, I've been in this business far too long to be lying on the couch in the middle of the day with my laptop and have no clients on the calendar. So it's either I fold, I surrender, I give in, and I get a job, or I do something about this and make some really hard decisions about my business. So right there on the spot, I decided to give myself about 24 hours to mull over the prospect of joining her group and coaching under her. And I was just really quiet. I didn't ask for anybody's advice. I really wanted my own answer to come up, which it did. So I decided to join, and even just faxing in that application immediately got me out of my funk, and I haven't looked back. So sometimes it takes doing the right thing, even if it costs you a lot of money, and even if it's very hard to do. So that absolutely was the best business decision I made last year, and it was all because of a funk. So sometimes you just have to look at, where I am, what it's going to take to get there. Be very honest with yourself about what it's going to take to get there, and just put one foot in front of the other. It all sounds very cliche, but it's what I did, and what works. It's what has worked really well for me. So taking direct action, as hard as it is, turning your attention completely away from the issue. So if it's business, just take the day off and do your best to think about anything but business. So ignoring the problem helps tremendously sometimes. And just reminding yourself that this too shall pass and everything is temporary has also been extremely helpful. So I do hope that helps, guys, and have a great weekend, and I will see you again next Friday. Bye.